How's it going, guys? Welcome back to a new video. And now that the NBA season is winding down, we got a couple more weeks before the playoffs. I will be doing these type of videos where I do different lists. So top 5 this or not so top 5 that. And we're getting right into it with 5 NBA teams that were disappointing in the 2015-2016 season. First, I want to preface it by saying this is not in any order. And if you think a team has been disappointing, be sure to comment down below if I missed them. Let's get right into it. So the first team on my list is the Washington Wizards. Right now, they sit at the record of 36-39, 10th in the Eastern Conference, and that's 3 full games behind that 8th seed. So right now, it's looking like the Washington Wizards would not make their 3rd straight playoff appearance, and it kind of sucks, man. Last year was a pretty big year for them, and a lot of people thought they were going to make that next step. Last year, 46-36, a really solid record for the team that they had. They beat out the Toronto Raptors in the first round, very convincing. I'm pretty sure they did pull off the sweep 4-0, and then they get into the second round against the Atlanta Hawks. They tie it up 1-1, and then John Wall goes down for the rest of the playoffs. And a lot of people think that if it wasn't for John Wall's injury, this team can potentially be in the Eastern Conference Finals against this Cavs team. So what happened? What happened this year that the expectations that we set for this Washington Wizards team is so low? They played so bad so far, and I think it's due to a couple things. One, injuries have played this team a lot. With a lot of teams on this list that I'm going to be talking about today, injuries have played a big part in their season. That's true about the Washington Wizards too. Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, Nene has been out for a long period of time. Injuries are always there. Another thing, Otto Porter did not make that leap that a lot of people thought he would. I mean, he was a number 3 draft pick a couple years ago. He's still young, so he does have time to progress to a better player, but he just didn't make that leap to be the 3rd scoring option that they need. Like right now, it's John Wall, Bradley Beal, and they're looking for that 3rd option. Sometimes it's Marcin Gortat, but a lot of people thought it was going to be Otto Porter this year, and that just didn't happen. Like I said, he's young, so it could happen in the future. And then they tried to make some moves, man. This is a team that is trying to make the playoffs. This is not a team that's in rebuilding phase. This is a team that expected to make the playoffs. So they made the trade for Markieff Morris, and it seemed like such a good trade, and actually it's been going pretty well, but it still looks like they will not be making a playoff appearance this year. The second team on my list is the Milwaukee Bucks. They're sitting at 31-44, and this is supposed to be a team that was supposed to make that next big leap. They've already made one huge leap. In 2014, they had 15 total wins. One of the worst records in the league, man. That's how they got Jabari Parker with that number 2 pick. But 15 total wins. And then in 2015, they jumped it all the way up to 41. And some of that is accredited to Jason Kidd. Some of that is accredited to just them having a young roster that wanted to win. So a lot of people predicted that this year they were going to make that next step and become like a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. But it just didn't happen. They even made some moves to try to make their team better. They signed Greg Monroe. And I personally thought that was going to be enough for this team to be really good. I was kind of afraid of, man. The series that they put against my Chicago Bulls last year in the playoffs was amazing. That's when I became a fan. But it just really has not been the case, man. They revamped their entire team. They traded Brandon Knight for Michael Carter-Williams, so they brought in length and defense over offensive scoring. And last year, the year that they put together 41 wins, they were the 4th best defense in the league. Now in 2016, they're 24th. So that's a big jump and it's not the good way. It's not the good type of jump that we need. It is a terrible decrease in defensive rating. And I think that's partly the part why this team is having a pretty tough year. And Jason Kidd is doing everything he can to try to make this team better, man. He's benched Greg Monroe. He's benched Michael Carter-Williams, and still no luck. One thing that's promising though on this team is the Greek freak running point guard. That's pretty fun to watch. The next team on my list is the New Orleans Pelicans, man. They're sitting at 28-47 as I'm making this video. And the Pelicans were looked at as one of the nice young teams that had a lot of promise. They got in the playoffs last year, got that exposure to the playoff atmosphere, even though they were destroyed by Golden State. A lot of people thought that, again, with pretty much every team on this list, they were going to make that next jump, and it just has not happened. They have one of the best young stars, Anthony Davis. A lot of people thought this was going to be his MVP season. Nobody expected Steph to go crazy like this, but a lot of people expected Anthony Davis to make another big leap. I was one of those people, man. I drafted him 1st overall in my fantasy draft team, and it kind of didn't go that way, man. With his injuries and everything, it just hasn't planned out the way we expected. Even they signed Alvin Gentry from Golden State to be their new head coach. But the thing with this team is injuries, man. So many injuries. Just take a look at this picture right here. Injuries have just killed it. Look at all these players that are injured, and these are top players on their team. These are not just bench players. These are their stars. These are their starting five. Like, a lot of people have been injured this entire season, and it started off really early. Think about the first game of the season. I'm pretty sure a lot of us watched that game. Golden State versus the Pelicans. Let me read you guys the start lineup for the Pelicans. We had Anthony Davis, Eric Gordon, two guys that usually start. Then you had Dante Cunningham, Nate Robinson, and Kendrick Perkins. I think that says it all. This team has definitely been fighting a lot of injuries. The fourth team on this list is my Chicago Bulls. It has definitely been one season to forget, man. They're sitting at 38-37, a team that has so much talent. A team that a lot of people thought was going to be the number 2 or the number 3 seed in this year in the Eastern Conference, sitting at 9th right now, one game behind the Pacers for that playoff spot. We still got time though, boys. Hope is still alive, but this season has just been a complete mess, man. We made some changes. A lot of people agreed with the getting rid of Tom Thibodeau when it happened, but right now a lot of us are regretting it, man. Fred Hoiberg does not have a hold of this locker room, and I'm not blaming it all on him. I've made a couple videos. If you want to know my opinion on this Bulls team in depth, man, I got like so many videos about changes that need to come and how disappointing this season has been. Number 4 on my list, the Chicago Bulls. The last team on my list is the Houston Rockets. Right now they sit at 37-38. No one knows what happened to this Houston Rockets team. Harden is actually having a better season this year than he did last year, and last year he was an MVP candidate, but his team is just playing so bad around him. I really don't know the reason this team is so bad. They were just at the top of the Western Conference last year. Only thing I can think of is that his supporting cast is kind of on the decline. Dwight Howard isn't the same player that he used to be, and Trevor Ariza's numbers are also on the decline. The Ty Lawson trade, I don't think that would be an extreme catalyst to why this team is so bad. I mean, it did blow up in their face, but they took a chance, and I don't think that chance should have cost them pretty much an entire season. Maybe it started off when they got rid of Kevin McHale. We just don't know. Hopefully this team can make the playoffs. We'll see how it goes. So if you did enjoy the video, as always, be sure to leave it a like. Let me know in the comment section below if I missed any teams or what the next list should be. This is King of the Fourth Quarter. Thanks so much for watching.
Niggas screw they face up at me, but on some real shit, man, that's all it's gonna be. A nigga might talk tough, sneak this or mean mug, but I bet you he won't lay a hand on me. Y'all know they hope I won't amount to shit. Whoever tried to count me out, they must can't count for shit, but they gon' doubt a nigga anyway.